É para tá iniciando.
Já está.
Eu estou olhando aqui no celular e estou olhando aqui também na tela do computador. Pronto, está entrando.
Mas agora já está assim. Já apareceu aqui no YouTube, acho que podemos começar. Está tudo ok.
Já estamos ao vivo. Então, boa tarde, boa noite também, né? 18 horas, aqui no horário do Brasil. Essa é a primeira apresentação online do nosso evento em 2023, SAP Inside Track Fortaleza. Sejam todos bem-vindos. Estamos iniciando a edição desse ano novamente com as palestras online. E hoje temos aqui a satisfação de receber, inclusive, um dos nossos integrantes da nossa equipe de organização, nosso amigo Manuel Robalinho, que vai iniciar as apresentações do nosso evento desse ano, falando um pouco sobre a parte de custos, numa palestra que aborda o tema de Analyzing Costing no S4HANA. Então, Manuel, boa tarde, bem-vindo. Grato
boa tarde.
Pelo apoio que você sempre dá e por estar colaborando aí em realizar esse evento. E a oratória é com você agora, meu amigo.
Boa tarde a todos. Primeiro, obrigado aí pela abertura do evento, não é? Realmente eu sou o primeiro de muitos outros. Temos aí pessoas de várias nacionalidades que vão palestrar online. Tentámos dar aqui no nosso evento a oportunidade a quem trabalha na área SAP de se mostrar o trabalho, de mostrar as suas habilidades, os seus projetos, as suas inquietudes, não é? A minha apresentação vai ser sobre a parte de custos, tentar mostrar um pouco o que é que muda e se muda muita coisa ou pouca coisa na parte de migração entre SEC e S4HANA. Eu vou fazer a minha apresentação em inglês. Também os slides que vamos seguir aqui depois vão ser transformados em PDF e ficarão anexados lá no YouTube, lá nos comentários, vai ser colocado lá. E o trabalho, como foi feito, tentei recuperar bastantes informações em termos de notas SAP e fui também colocando e distribuindo, quer em termos de documentar de onde peguei as informações, quer quais são as notas SAP que referem essa questão. Vamos lá, então. Now in English. Good morning for everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening. We are starting our English presentation in SAP Inside Track Fortaleza 23. My name is Manuel Robalinho. We are presenting during this week and next week, almost of this time, we have one online lecture. Some people are from Brazil and other people are from another countries. So everyone next year can participate and be involved with this event presenting online. My team is about cost analysis in S4HANA. My name is Manuel Robalinho, like I said. I'm living in Fortaleza. I'm an FECO consultant, and nowadays I'm studying a PhD in Coimbra University too. It's another question. It's not SAP, but something that I like to do. Starting our process, because sometimes we have so many people that don't know so much about S4HANA. We have here in this slide what HANA means. HANA, it's a synonym of high performance analytics and appliance. So it's a new database in memory technology developed by SAP. The difference to another versions. In S/4HANA, S/4HANA is the latest version that SAP produce is product, is ERP. The S continues using by SAP or sample, and HANA is the fourth generation of SAP product, and HANA is the database that we have. What type of product we have? We have product in S/4HANA on-premise, hybrid, or in cloud. So when we are implementing S/4HANA, we need to start the conversation with SAP to define what is the implementation that we will do and the license that we will buy near the SAP. Other things about the S/4HANA, they changed the names of that they are doing to his product. Nowadays, each S/4HANA version, we have a number, 15, 11, 16. Nowadays, we have 2023, and it is more or less, it's the year and the month that are published this version of S/4HANA. So this year we have 2023, and I put here after this presentation you could download the PDF, and we have here the link to the SAP documentation about simplification list. Simplification list is a book, a list of the better things or the new things that this version involves. This installation about S/4HANA 2023 and the other ones, we have database S/4HANA, and we have the SAP NetWeaver. Another thing that changed in ECC and the older versions, so many times we hear the people talking about, I am a FI, CO, I am SD, I am an MEM, and they changed the name of the areas. On the left, we have the oldest names. On the right, on yellow, we have the name of S/4HANA areas. And my area, that it is FICO, we look here that nowadays they talk about finance. For example, the people that are MEM, they talk about supply chain. About SD, they talk about sales. And this is important because the simplification list and the other documents like apps and other documentation developed by SAP now refers these areas in S/4HANA and no more the oldest areas that we have in ECC. Another thing that we have in S/4HANA, they changed so many. I suppose almost the people know that in S/4HANA almost the tables are changed and the link of them too. And we have the general ledger. We continue with profitability analysis in the other area. All of the headers that we have, ledgers, accounting, companies, they are accounting in Universal Journal, that we have a table, AC DOCA. In the oldest versions, we accounting that in FEAGL Flex A and T. So they change all the table. And we manage, we have this information in the below, that all the managing account, CO, that we have controlling area, cost centers, all the documents are accounting directly in the Universal Journal. In the oldest versions, we have the accounting in tables made exclusively to CO, like COEP and COBK. Nowadays, we don't have anymore these type of tables, and we put all of them here. How is important this type of information? Because when we need to make some functional specification to develop something, or when we need to participate in a project to migrate to S4HANA, we need to know that some programs that pick the information in the older table needs to move and to make some modifications in the reports to pick the information in the new tables that we have. The cost in S4HANA, it's a real-time integration, so everything is in the general ledger, in ACDoc table that they talk about Universal Journal. Universal Journal is ACDoc table. And we have two big tables, ACDoc actual and ACDoc P, plan. All the process of planning costs in S4HANA changed when we compare with ECC2. It is a big difference here in the planning. Another difference, it's in primary costs and secondary costs. They have another one, non-operating expenses, and all the chart of accounts are included in the general ledger. In the oldest versions, we have a chart of accounts in general ledger and a chart of account in CO. It was the costing classes. Nowadays, we don't have anymore. We have only one chart of account. We only made one master data table. So what type of costs we have? We have the primary costs, like we have in the oldest versions. We have accruals, and here in accruals, we have a big difference from the oldest versions. We have good things here. We have the revenues, that we have the same code that we have in the oldest versions. Sales reduction and external settlements. So here, the new questions are about accruals, almost of that. We have here a SAP note, like I said, that talks about the change in cost elements. We have here the new type of account, and we have here too the print with the type of definition that we need to do in the chart of accounts. Here is talking about the secondary costs that we know in costs too. We don't have so much difference. It's almost the same. We have the internal settlements like we had in the past, overage rates that we have on the past, settlements, and internal order allocation like we have in the past. This settlement now is posted in the Universal Journal. The settlement, in the past was made in almost the accounting in the tables of the controlling area. Now, because we have only one journal, one universal journal, we have only one local to post all of that in the ACDoc A. Here we have to SAP note about the splitting, that we have a new thing that we have in the S4HANA to splitting the cost of goods sold. We can look this SAP note and made the split when we made the settlement. And about the features or the objects that we have to production. We don't have no change. I have here no change. We continue to use assets in the active or stock material. The asset can be constructed by investment orders or investment projects like we have in the past. Investment orders could be settled to an asset, or investment project could be set to an asset too. So we continue like we have in the past. And to produce, we have the same objects like we have in ECC. We have production orders. We have two CO production orders like we have in the past. All of them can produce a material with its valuation. About cost centers, the same functionality, almost of them. We have only some changes in planning cost center because the planning, like we know in ECC, don't exist anymore, and the SAP put all the planning cost center in SAP Analytics Cloud. But the other question that we do here is we have almost the same things. We have only this change that we can look the note that final for 40 set. So we have the cost centers, we have the profit centers like we have in the past. We have activities, statistical key features, and allocations. We have activity price that we need to plan it manually, or nowadays we can put these type of things in SAP Analytics Cloud. We can confirm activity price like we have in the past. We can have the overhead and distribution with the same cycles that we have to make the assessment in the past. We can look this SAP note to, it is an interesting point, because I said that the planning cost center, we have so many changes. We don't use anymore the older functionalities that we have in controlling to planning cost center. But if someone needs to use them, SAP give us a SAP note to reactivate the oldest versions to plan in cost centers. But when you made this reactivation, they don't make the synchronism with this planning cost center and the new one in the SAP Analytics Cloud. And the new apps for planning and the reports to look the real cost versus the planning cost don't read the oldest version too. So I don't know why SAP put this here, but if anyone wants to continue with the oldest functionality, they can reactivate them. Some changes that I talk about planning. If anyone needs to know how to do that, they can look this SAP note. Nowadays, all the planning is in SAP SAP Analytics Cloud, but here we have a context of that and the position, SAP position about the use of the new planning. And it is important to have that because sometimes during the implementation in the customers, they ask us why we do that, why we don't use the older functionality. So we have the SAP note to support our opinion, and we have the description about the questions until ECC planning in oldest version in controlling, and the new one planning in the SAP Analytics Cloud. So here we have the new features, new figure about how it occurs planning in SAP. We have the main table ACDoc-P, like we have ACDoc-A to real, we have ACDoc-P to planning. And like we know, we verify here, all the functionalities are maintained in the new table. So when you activate the oldest, they don't talk with this one. It's a problem, of course. Planning options in SAP Analytics Cloud. SAP plan to use new functionalities to cost center, product cost planning, sales and profitability planning, project planning, internal order, and financial state planning. So everything of this now it's in SAP Analytics Clouds, not anymore in the ACP structure like the ERP, like we know in the ECC version. About cost analysis, we have merging analysis, the older COPA, they have a new name, merging analysis, and they have the two versions, cost-based and account-based COPA. SAP, like I read in the SAP notes, tell us, almost of them, to use account-based in profitability analysis in SAP S4HANA because they made so many changes to produce the same requirements that we had in cost-based COPA. We have here a feature, an image from SAP, how it occurs. Like we verify here, all of the information to account-based is put in ACDoc-A. So almost of the information is prepared to have, like we have in the last slide, in account-based too. So all the information that we need are every time in the Universal Journal table ACDoc-A. Included the material ledger, like we see in the right, SAP material ledger now put all the information to in this table and not anymore in the 1,000 table that we have for material ledger in the older ERP. Here is from SAP2, where they inform here what are the recommended version that we need to use. And when you look here, they recommend merging analysis to use in S4HANA on-premise or on cloud. And on cloud, like we verify here, we don't have options to have costing-based COPA, neither accounted-based COPA. We have only cost-based COPA on-premise. For material ledger that produce the cost of material, we have new tools and new apps that are developed, included the tables that are put all the information changed, the tables, and almost of the information are in the main table in the general ledger, in the universal ledger. What we do in product costing, we have the product cost planning that we had in oldest versions. The system made this product cost planning too, using the bill material, using the price, the activities, etc. It's the same thing, don't change it. We have cost object accounting, the production orders, the same production order that we have in the oldest versions, and we have the actual costing like we have the actual costing in the oldest version. So what changed? Changed only the tables that are used by material ledger, and nowadays it's obligatory to activate the material ledger to support the functionalities. The material ledger, we have two big questions: the products that are managed at standard costing, like we had in the past, and the products like to be managed in actual costing. The V products, or the products that have average price. We don't have chance, but it's obligatory to activate material ledger, and each country could decide if use material ledger only with standard costing, or if we use with actual costing. Actual costing is the cockpit that we have in CKMLCP, that we continue with the same cockpit, that can produce a periodic price, period unique price, PUP, for each month using the standard costing and the average price of some materials. We produce them and account them in the universal ledger. We can look some technical change that are in these SAP notes. So if someone needs to know technical change for material ledger, can read this note. It is very interesting. Here we have the new SAP tables that we have in S4HANA. We have almost 5 main tables that are on the left: the material data, the material quantity, and the material valuation. These are the same tables that we have, the 1 and 2 and 3 point are the same tables that we have in ECC. So here we don't have so many difference. The difference starts here in the point 4 and 5, because these tables are new tables defined to material ledger, one with documents and another one with the cost stratification. So if someone have any development in ECC that needs some adjustments to S4HANA, needs to verify these type of tables to change the development that they had. So what we have in the tables that we have in S4HANA, ACDoc A, Universal Journal, and the tables for material ledger that we have above, and all of them, that the tables that we have below, all of them now are included in Universal Journal. So we have a big simplification in S4HANA to material ledger, but are only technical change, of course. So this is the reference where I pick this information. You can, after them, use this material to look and to study more questions about this. And I am obrigado. Thank you very much for everyone that assists this presentation. And you can contact me for more information if you need. You are here Mr. Looking my colleague.
Ok, Manuel.
Terminamos aqui. Any question?
Aqui no chat não apareceu ainda nenhuma questão. Eu estou com duas questões aqui que eu gostaria de levantar. Você quer que eu possa fazer em português ou você prefere que eu faça em inglês para seguir na...
Pode fazer em português ou em inglês. In English. If you put in
vou
English,
fazer
I can talk in English.
Ok, eu faço as duas e aí ver quem pode acompanhar. Vou fazer primeiro em português. No início da apresentação, você trouxe bem ali algumas questões técnicas da comparativa entre o SCC e o S4HANA, né? Ali para o CO. E além dessa questão desse merge que houve aí entre os dois módulos, também tem se percebido um processo de transição. Eu não sei se em CO tem alguma situação, como é que eu vou descrever para você agora que eu já identifiquei em FI.
I know this type of questions. I will translate. Joelson asked me about some questions that are not very finished when we made the transition from ECC to S4HANA. We have some questions like that, of course. I suppose that the most important problems, or almost one of them, is because so many times we need different approach in costs. And of course, now we have only the ACDOC A, the Universal Journal. So, so many times we create in the past, I need another visualization of the information. I create another ledger. I put in the ledger the things that I need. I made the accounting the another ledger, and I made the reporting to another perspective. But nowadays, we realize that, for example, asset management had so many changes that not everything that you need are put in the Universal Journal OL. So if you don't have anything in OL, if you need two perspectives to manage asset, you need the OL ledger to the legal things, and you need another ledger to put another perspective. But in the past, you could share all of the things in the same ledger. Nowadays, I suppose that because we don't have finished the question about asset management, we have some things that you don't have all the information in the same ledger. So sometimes when you need to obtain two perspectives, you need to work with so many ledgers to obtain the same information that in the past you have easy using only one ledger. I suppose the difference is that because we have some questions that are not completely solved, but I suppose that the way that SAP is giving us is in the way that we will have in the future all these visions, and we have so many apps that could share the information easily, because nowadays the information is more analytical. We don't are so fixed in the, okay, you need to have the information about this ledger, after then you obtain another report from another ledger, and after them you export and you complement in Excel file, etc. No, nowadays the apps that we have in Fiori, in the new S4HANA, give us the opportunity to construct the information during the extraction in the S4HANA. But yes, we have some questions, like the question that we have in COPA, because we have so many questions in COPA that nowadays we realize that we have all the information that we need in the Universal Journal. So we think about, so what we can do about the costing basis COPA if I can obtain almost of the things in account based. I can split the cost of goods sold. So we can start, so nowadays I can use the account-based COPA to obtain almost the same information that in the past I have with more work. I obtain in the COPA accounted base, costing based. You understand? You could understand. So we have, but it's difficult due to the older customers sometimes explain the changes, how we can change the modus operandi of this work. If you have one question, in the ECC I have costing based COPA. Why we can't have the same reports and same information nowadays in account based? We can. I suppose that we can almost of the times. So we can try, we can explain, we can put in the customer the idea to start, and probably with a big effort, a little effort, you can give the better information than you have in the costing basis COPA in the ECC model.
Okay, the other question, it's similar the context, but it's the other specific technical question. And in FE, in FI, we have a situation, and it's possible to see that some apps and new transactions in the SAP GUI, not Fiori, the older tables is not the input. For example,
It's not filled.
FAGL FCV for the evaluation.
We have so
this
many
transaction put information in the KPF table and AC docker, but not putting, for example, in BSEG, in other tables. In CO, it's a similar situation
it's
in
similar.
new apps or
It's
transactions.
similar. It's similar. We need to move in the way that SAP give us to use the apps. Is the standard solution. We have the same question. In the past, we have co-app table, and so many developments that we did, it was looking the co-app or looking the other tables around the coast. And nowadays we have AC Docker. So we know, I know, and you know too, that so many processes like depreciation, for example, don't put all the information in BSEG. If you have a program, a report, something like that are using only the older tables, you are losing information. You need to go to the new tables. And it is the same thing that I talk about planning. Planning, it's the same thing. Nowadays, we have so many customers that use planning in SAP by cost center and account. We don't, SAP don't fill anymore this type of information. And don't give you the transaction in the SAP GUI system to assess the older transaction, like KP06 and other one. And said, okay, you can go to the SAP Analytics Cloud. And the people could say, no, I can use the oldest. I will use the SAP note that I give here, that we have a SAP note to reactivate the older transaction, reactivate the older tables, but the apps don't read information there. After them, if you put something there, the people go in the app and will open a issue for you to solve. Joelson, I have here, the real is here, but the planet is not here, and I put here. But SAP said to you that don't use anymore this type of information. So it is a big problem for us, consultant, to reactivate this type of functionalities. And it is interesting because sometimes the SAP give us, now you can reactivate them and you can use the oldest transactions. Okay, I can use, but the new ones I cannot use because the information is not there. How can I consolidate all of them? No, you cannot consolidate, or you need to develop. So it's better, for me, it's better. Don't use the oldest and continue in the way that SAP give us to continue, because now if you continue with the oldest, you are developing so much in the new S4HANA, and after them, you need to give some updates or some development too in the apps, because the apps that you are using are not reading the oldest version. So we have this in planning, we have this in the tables that use COAP, we have this in the depreciation accounting. When you account all depreciation, the tables changed. Don't put all the information in COAP anymore. So we need to be careful with that, to don't use the oldest steps and change the program or the reports that you could have to the new tables. It's my opinion.
I remember now the situation that I need to explain to users the difference between the FBL 5H and FAGL LB, and yes. The oldest transaction, same information is not show, and in our head it's simple to understand this. It's a process that the SAP it's developing a new solutions and put the way for the use in the apps in Fiori, but it's a cultural problem because the older users is to want to use the older transaction yet. But it's necessary to
well, sometimes I suppose that it is the simple way that some consultants and some people use to don't have any more the problem. Okay, you have a problem, you have an issue, I need to solve the problem. Okay, I reactivate the oldest transaction and you use them. After them, I go to another project and you have the problem to solve in the future again. So I suppose that if you are a professional guy, you need to explain all of these questions, because you are not solving the problem. You are solving the problem today, and you are open so many issues to the future.
Ok, thank you. Manuel, não vi mais nenhuma questão aqui no chat, então
fica
à vontade aí.
Thank you for everyone that are showing with us this event. Tomorrow we have another one with Prazal Malai from India, and the next week, every day, almost at 6 p.m. we have online lectures, some of them in Portuguese, some of them in English, and all of them, after them, we put the PDF with the presentation attached in the YouTube page. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. Have a nice year. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Grato, Robalinho, grato a todos, e a gente se vê
Tomorrow.
Falou amanhã, né? Amanhã a gente está de novo aqui reunidos. Um abraço a todos.
Bye-bye.